Welcome back to another edition of Blind Man's Grub. Today I'm going to show you how to make a breaded, baked, lemon garlic chicken. Essentially what we need for this is we're going to need a cooking sheet, an oven preheated to 400 degrees. I've placed full foil on this cookie sheet to make it easier to clean in the end. Once this is cooked, I just take the foil and throw it in the trash and I can put the cookie sheet up. We're going to need a cutting board. This time we're going to use my Pyrex cutting board because I need a bigger surface. And we're going to need one thawed chicken breast, which I have right here. Other things we'll need is we need a bowl. It doesn't have to be a square bowl. This is just going to be very easy to use. We need the garlic. Let me step over here. We need lemon juice. And one final ingredient. We're going to need butter. Which I've got right here. Oh, I have to amend that. That's not the final ingredient. Now we need to go into the pantry to actually grab our final ingredient. Again, I apologize. My pantry's kind of a disaster still. We're in the process of reorganizing it. We need breadcrumbs. Now that I've gathered all the materials, I wonder what we're going to need to do. Basically, we need enough butter to partially fill the bowl. We're going to melt the butter in the microwave, squirt some lemon juice in the butter. Then we're going to mix some garlic powder into the butter. And then we're going to dip the chicken breast in the butter. I'm probably going to cut the chicken breast in half to make it cook more evenly. And we're going to have a plate full of breadcrumbs, which we'll see in a moment. That we're going to roll the chicken breast in. We'll place it on the cooking sheet. And then we'll put it in the oven for about 30 to 35. This cutting board is actually pretty neat. If you look at it very closely, you'll see a bunch of little measurement lines and dots. We essentially got this at the Corelware outlet store. The reason why I say essentially is this is an essential cutting board. It's a lot better than others. The big problem with it is if you're chopping vegetables, you'll get a really heavy tap noise that'll hurt your ears if you do it too much. So you need to be a little careful when you're using it for that. I've already gone ahead and pre-done the lemon juice. I'm going to melt the butter into it and then stir it. We're going to basically do the butter in short bursts, probably about 30 seconds. Looks like all it really took was 30 seconds. We're going to move this over to our prepared. If you take a look at this chicken breast, you'll notice there's not a lot of fat on it. This is kind of what you can get if you actually can go to a place that has a real butcher. We got this at an Asian market locally, and this market's pretty neat. You can get stuff like this. But what I'm going to do here, so it'll cook faster and be easier to work with, I'm going to cut this breast in half down the middle, and then I'll show you the next. I've just added garlic powder to this mixture, and I'm stirring it, getting it ready for the chicken. And these are our breadcrumbs. You don't really need a plate or something like this, just a normal plate will work. I just like this thing that has sloped sides, and what I'm going to do is do it on this in case some of the breadcrumbs fall out. It'll be on the cookie sheet. It'll be easier to clean up later. And basically our oven is ready to go at 400 degrees. Place the chicken in the butter. We're just going to switch that around. Remember, when working with raw chicken, to always keep your hands clean. Chicken is one of the worst carriers of salmonella. And we've got that swished around pretty good. Now we're just going to pick it up over here and make sure to swish around these breadcrumbs really well. Really get it coated. The only unfortunate thing about this recipe is you end up losing a lot of breadcrumbs in the process. That's why it's usually good to make more than just the helpings we make. We're going to film this. Here's the next piece. Back in the butter. Just do the same thing, make sure it's good and coated. And then make sure to get the breadcrumbs everywhere. And here's another good trick to do. Once you've got it up here, sprinkle some of the breadcrumbs on top of it. Because some of them will come off in the process of cooking it. Go ahead and take this off. Put it over here. And we're going to go ahead and open our oven. And pick this up and slip it in. Without the spoon on it. I almost forgot that. Let's try that again. I've got our timer set for 30 minutes. We'll check it at that. This is what your chicken should look like when it's done. You'll notice it's nice and golden brown. It'll look about the same on the bottom. If you'll notice those extra crumbs that were on the foil kind of burned a little bit. But that's because they weren't on the chicken and didn't have that moist liquid coming off the chicken. But that's the big reason why I recommend putting the foil down underneath. It'll save you a lot of cleaning time. If that actually got on your pan, you would need to sit with a scrubbing pad and steel wool to get it off. And it would take a while.